Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they match up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, they can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from New Era Field. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start. On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Now let's take a look here at the Bills offense.
And every time I spotlight Frank Gore, who turned 36, and man, I feel worse about myself. Fantastic physical condition, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and one of the top runners in NFL history.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a man closing in on 15,000 career rush yards, Frank Gore. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. His throw incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Allen off the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. That's a prime example of how Josh Allen can hurt a defense. You remember back to his rookie season a year ago, 631 rushing yards, second only to Lamar Jackson. Also had 8 rushing touchdowns. He is a dual-threat QB. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it. Is seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why I ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. To throw again on 2nd down, Allen. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. On play action, Allen. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 30. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Kroft. Remember, he had a season-ending foot injury last year with the Bengals in Week 5. So the Bills get him, and he re-injures that same foot in May in OTAs. But out there now and says he's feeling pretty good. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Slam, slam, slam. You got
Here's Gore. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Now Allen. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Robert Foster, 27 yards. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They'll be led out by their second-year quarterback, leading rusher amongst QBs in 2018, Lamar Jackson. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Double time. We got 4.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Jerry Hughes on the stop. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
Down. 58 right there. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
On second down, Ingram. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Throw the ball at your own peril when Jordan Poyer is in the lineup. In the last 2 seasons, he's been in the top 10 in interceptions both years and second on the team in tackles in 2018. An all-around terrific center field type of a safety.
Here's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. The All-Pro Andre Roberts deep for Buffalo. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo Bills coming out here on offense. Got another big win in Week 12 at home against Denver. That makes it 2 wins in a row. And now impressive this season, 8-3 here as they start out 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he'll be taken down at the 18.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask, 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Now on second down, this is Gore. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Line 36. Line 36.
Allen from the gun on third down. And that's caught by Beasley. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Watch 30.
Man, I got you.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
On first down, it's Gore. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's good for a gain of 7, but still a few inches short here with fourth down coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore in the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson, option right, and an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. He's got his man, it's Andrews. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Jackson to throw. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 8 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did. Good. I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. On third down, they'll run with Gore. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. Nifty move. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The sack there by Trent Murphy. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. Nope. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Play action. It's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Alexander wreaking the defensive havoc. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And Oliver with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Open man, here's Foster. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Here we go, let's bring it.
From midfield, here's Allen. And that is incomplete. The Bills send the punter out. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Snead's got it. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Operating from the gun, Allen, and he's going to have the connection to Foster. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Allen going to throw. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On 1st down, Gore. The broken tackle couldn't create a ton of space. He'll be taken down just beyond the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the 36, Allen, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To the air, Allen, and that will be incomplete. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. "37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Jackson options out left. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. It's complete to Snead. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
First down, Ravens.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Bills' 49-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Let's go, baby.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now it's Ingram. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Jackson throwing here complete to Boyle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Single, slide.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, but it'll be 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Big stop, let's go.
To throw again, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ingram again. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here now, Roberts. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now. Down 10-7, a minute 44 to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
Allen trying to hurry everybody up to the line of scrimmage. He's back to throw. He was looking for Devin Singletary there, and now it's 3rd down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Back to throw. And that's complete to Croft. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Allen to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now a draw play for Gore. Gets around him. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Jackson, option right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is Ingram. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's Sam Cook now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
First throw of overtime for Allen. They'll roll him out right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Patrick Owasor able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Check 40. Check 48's the mic.
Rabbit.
What can Allen do now with his drive? Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and
1. Stop your whining.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few 1st downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands. Critical situation. Now's their time.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Hey, watch it, watch it.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the 40 now on second down. Jackson caught right side at Snead. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ingram. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
But we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.